The Knicks just finished beating the Utah Jazz by the score of 118 to 103, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel, and yeah, just talking about some takeaways that I had for the game. I kind of want to focus on the Utah Jazz side of things first, specifically one player. I want to talk about Jordan Clarkson. Chris and I, we've been putting out videos talking about different trade targets that are rumored to be linked to the Knicks. And actually, three of them were actually in this game. We had Colin Sexton, we had Jordan Clarkson, and we had Kelly Olynyk. Now, I've been praising Jordan Clarkson, saying how like Jordan Clarkson should be the Knicks' number one trade target. Jordan Clarkson, who's someone that can create his own offense, and now Emmanuel quickly got traded. Jalen Brunson coming down the stretch of the season and going into the playoffs. Jalen Brunson is definitely going to need a breather in the playoffs, where the minutes are more intense, the minutes are more pressured. And Deuce McBride, we're not sure if he's going to be able to step up to the plate. So, in my opinion, I thought Jordan Clarkson would be a great trade target because he has that playoff experience. He's been to the finals, so he knows what that playoff atmosphere is like. And again, he can create his own shot. We don't have to depend on Jalen Brunson so much. Take some of the burden off his shoulders. But tonight, Jordan Clarkson ended up with 11 points, shooting 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Ended the game with 1 rebound. It was just a horrible, horrible game from Jordan Clarkson. And it got me to think, did he do this on purpose because he knows the Knicks are linked to him and he doesn't want to leave Utah, or he wants to play for another team? I don't know, man. He played so bad that it looked very, very suspect. Another player that's linked to the Knicks is Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk had a horrible game. He ended the game with 1 point, shooting 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3-point, and just converting one of his free throws. I've never been a really big fan of Kelly Olynyk, but Kelly Olynyk has been linked to the Knicks because of Mitchell Robinson going down, and yeah, there's optimism that he might come back towards the end of the season, but maybe there's that insurance that we might need another big, and Kelly Olynyk can stretch the floor, and he can create a play for himself and for others. So me personally, I'm not really excited about that. Hopefully they don't go after him. And then the third person from the Utah Jazz that's linked to the Knicks in the trades is Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton definitely had the best game out of the three. Ended the game with 22 points, 7 of 13 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Ended the game with 3 rebounds and 7 assists. Colin Sexton, his nickname, Walt Clyde Frazier was saying it on the telecast. He's just a bulldog, man. He's just a pit bull. Like he was getting into Jalen before they ended up getting blown out. Colin Sexton was just in Jalen Brunson's shirt. Like he didn't care that Jalen Brunson is a better player than him. But that's what I like about Colin Sexton is he's a complete dog. He's just gonna go after you for the whole night. He's not gonna let up, and he doesn't care that his team is horrible. He's gonna play as hard as he can. And I've always liked Colin Sexton. And on top of that, his offensive game has grown. When he got drafted into the league, he was more known as a defensive player, and the more seasons that he got under his belt, he just expanded his offensive game. And Colin Sexton being linked to the Knicks, if he came to the Knicks backing up Jalen Brunson, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be super excited, but I wouldn't be disappointed. I really like what he brings to the team. He's like a miniature Patrick Beverly in my eyes and in my opinion. Switching to the Knicks side of things, got to talk about Dante DiVincenzo, Mr. 3, ending the game with 33 points, 11 of 22 from the field, 9 of 15 from 3, converting 2 of his free throws, ending the game with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. I just keep getting surprised more and more by each game. From Dante DiVincenzo. Like when we signed him, I liked the type of player he was, athletic, could put the ball on the floor. I knew he was a shooter, but honestly didn't know he was this good of a shooter. I like how aggressive he is. I like how when he attacks the rim, he's going in there to flush it on your head. I wasn't really expecting that. Hopefully this translates into the playoffs. Hopefully no injuries, knock on wood. I have a wooden table right here, guys. And he's only 1/4 of the Nova boys. I mean, Ryan Arcidiacono doesn't play, but salute Ryan. But, I mean, we got Josh Hart, who, again, had a nice stellar game. 10 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, which isn't great. But, again, we don't rely on Josh Hart to shoot threes, converting 2 of his free throws. He had 10 points, he had 10 rebounds, and he had 10 assists. So Josh Hart with a triple-double. Anytime you get a triple-double in the league, that's insane. You're playing against professional basketball players. Triple-doubles they're not easy to get. But one thing I noticed in this game is seeing how Julius Randle is going to be out for not the remainder of the season, but for maybe a minimum of a month. It's probably going to be longer than that. But one thing I've definitely noticed from last night's game when they were going up against Charlotte to tonight's game was that Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and Jalen Brunson. I feel like those three, they're kind of like the engine that makes the team run now. It's like it's either Josh Hart getting the rebound, Jalen Brunson or Dante DiVincenzo, and they're pushing the ball. They're pushing the pace of the game. They're bringing the energy up. And I feel like whenever the Knicks start making a run, I feel like it's always one out of those three that starts the run. Whether if it's a defensive play, whether if it's a really good assist on the offensive end, or somebody getting hot. Like I don't know, man. It's something about the Nova Boys that's like it's a great nucleus that the Knicks have. And this is why I keep saying that, like, Julius Randle being out for a month, minimum a month, like, I don't think is the worst thing in the world. We're going to get to see other players step up to the plate. Dante DiVincenzo has been doing that. I believe last night he scored 28 points. Tonight he had 33. And this brings me to another player that has stepped up to the plate as far as tonight. Precious Achiuwa, 100%. No question about it. Had his best game as a Knick, finishing the game with 18 points, 8 of 13 from the field. No 3-pointers. He did attempt 3. We do know he could shoot the 3, so that's good. But he didn't make any threes tonight. Converting 2 of his free throws, ending the game with 5 rebounds and 1 assist. Tonight was just the best game Precious Achiuwa had in the Knick jersey. Today's game was the first indication for me, only for me, that I got to see a little bit of Precious game. He had a couple plays where his back was towards the basket and he was able to score off of ththose possessions. So that let me know that that's incorporated into his game. He was just in the right spots. Like this one in particular, Isaiah Hardenstein, he got in the second half, he got the ball at the top of the key and the lane just opened up. So he drove down the lane and instead of going up, he laid the ball to Precious Achiuwa and Precious got an and one. So like Precious Achiuwa to me he's gonna be someone that's like once he gets his comfortability level up with the Knicks, he's going to be somebody that we can point to be like he's always going to be in the right spot, always have the right rotations. And as far as his offensive game, I mean, tonight we saw that a little bit more. He was a little bit more aggressive, looking for his own shot. I don't know. Right now, just Jericho Sims also popped into my mind. Like he had that move in the first half where he faked going baseline and then he just threw it on Walker Kessler's head. That was pretty dope. Isaiah Hardenstein had another stellar game, being the starting big man. 14 points, 6 of 10 from the field, converting 2 of his free throws. No 3-point attempts, thank God. Ended the game with 12 rebounds and 2 assists. Isaiah Hardenstein, just keep doing your thing, man. Keep being that defensive anchor in the paint. Man. I mean, Jalen Brunson, my favorite player on the Knicks, had a nice game. He had a really good game, actually. 29 points, shooting 10 of 23 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, which isn't great. Converting 7 of his 8 free throws, ending the game with 9 assists and 3 rebounds. Walt Clyde Frazier during the telecast and Mike Breen, they talked about Jalen Brunson having a quiet night, even though he had 29 points. It did feel like a quiet 29. This just goes towards Jalen Brunson being the MVP of the Knicks and him being a part of the MVP conversation, which he should be way more. He's just the steady diet of just the leader that we need, as far as knowing that he's going to show up, knowing that he's going to do the job that he needs to do, being the main offensive weapon and actually being able to capitalize on it. It feels like he's in a really, really good groove, and with Julius Randle out for a minimum of a month, I feel like that groove is only going to get better. Now, of course, the teams coming into the Garden or whoever the Knicks play, there might be defensive schemes one night that the team is just straight up just trying to take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hand. So that might slow him down a little bit. But if that scenario doesn't happen, I just see Jalen Brunson just getting his confidence to grow astronomically. And then heading into the playoffs, man, like honestly, anybody in the East, there's nobody right now that I can't point to one player, one point guard in the East, and I can say definitively I'm taking this player over Jalen Brunson. Tyrese Halliburton, no, I can't say that. Tyrese Maxey, no, I can't say that. Damian Lillard, no, I can't say that. Anybody, and on the Boston Celtics, the starting point guard who we have, Derek White, like, no, Jalen Brunson is going to cook Derek White. Even though Derek White is a nice and a respectable defensive player, and the Boston Celtics have Drew Holiday to put on Jalen Brunson, so that actually might hurt. But as far as Jalen Brunson getting hits on the offensive end, strictly against Boston, right now, just talking about Boston, I'm picking Jalen Brunson. So, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, Jalen Brunson, Coming down the stretch of the season, going into the playoffs, if everything goes right, if everybody's healthy, Julius Randle comes back healthy or somewhat healthy, being able to play through that injury, Mitchell Robinson comes back healthy. I don't know, man. Eastern Conference Finals, it may be here. We finally might be able to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals after I don't know how long, since the NBA Finals of 99-2000. Sheesh. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself because we did just beat the Utah Jazz, and the Utah Jazz, they're not one of the better teams in the league. But as far as tonight, I just like what I saw. I definitely liked how the continuation from last night, as far as the ball movement, as far as attacking the rim and then doing a nice little kick out. I just like the body movement. I like the ball movement. And I like how the players are stepping up. Dante DiVincenzo is definitely the first player that comes to mind. Precious Achiuwa is starting to, it looks like he's starting to find his groove. Isaiah Hardenstein is still being the defensive anchor that we know he is. Jalen Brunson is an MVP. He's still playing like an MVP that I know he is, and that I know he will probably be in the conversation being the leader in one of these seasons coming up. As far as the Knicks' upcoming games, Thursday is a good game. It's a big game. We got Indiana at the Garden on Thursday, and Tyrese Halliburton is back from his hamstring injury. So it's not an important game, but I'm definitely interested to see how the Knicks face up and how they match up against the Indiana Pacers, because the Pacers are definitely one of the up-and-coming teams. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about today's game. What stood out to you? What do you want the Knicks to work on a little bit more? And we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.